If you're Nigerian, here are two investments you can get started with to make money from the government. It's amazing that these two investments are low risk investments, which means you're not losing your capital. Once you put in your money into these investments, you're not losing it. All you do is to get interest. Also, you can get as much as 50% from this investment, and I'll be giving you all the information you need to know about this investment and how you can get started. If you have been looking around into this YouTube channel, you discover that I've been talking about this investment, but in today's video I'll be giving you some exclusive information I've not disclosed yet in this channel. So let's dive into this investment. Now, number one investment is the Nigerian Treasury Bill. You've been hearing Treasury Bill, but there are some things you need to understand about Treasury Bill. It's a short-term investment, which means it's not more than a year. It's always less than a year. You can see 90 days, 180 days, you can see 364 days. It's amazing investment and it's very much low risk. You can invest in Treasury Bill from the primary market, which is open for investors every Wednesday, but it's always bi-weekly. So you can invest there, and you can invest through the CBN, that's the Central Bank of Nigeria, with a minimum of 50 million naira. But they know that lots of persons cannot be able to afford 50 million naira. That's the reason they open the secondary market, whereby you can invest with 100,000 naira. Now, when you are interfering with the secondary market, you don't really need to go to CBN. You can do it with your stockbroker. Now, you can get started with your stockbroker like AfriInvestor 2.0. You can use Bamboo and invest in Treasury Bill. So let's say you're using AfriInvestor 2.0 to invest 100,000 naira in Treasury Bill, which is the minimum amount you can invest. You can choose your duration you want to invest. There are lots of duration available on AfriInvestor 2.0. Another amazing thing about Treasury Bill is that you can withdraw your interest upfront. If you invest today, you can get your interest paid to you today, and you wait till your maturation before you get your capital. Now, let's come to the second investment you can get started with. That's the federal government of Nigerian Savings Bond. That's the FGN Savings Bond. Now, the savings bond is not like the Treasury Bill where you can invest anytime, Monday to Friday, between the hours of 11 to 2 o'clock. That's when you can invest in Treasury Bill. On savings bond, it is usually open from the first Monday to the first Friday of the month. So it's Monday to Friday. That's the first Monday to the first Friday of the month. It's usually a week program. So if it means that week subscription, you cannot be able to invest in that savings bond subscription for that month. Let's say for the month of June, it's the first week of the month of June. So if it means that day, you'll not be able to invest there again. You will have to wait till July. The savings bond is not like a short-term duration. It's always 2 years or 3 years. You have to choose your duration, and you can get started with 5,000 naira. Here too, you give money to the federal government of Nigeria, and they start paying you interest. Now, your interest is being paid every 3 months. So if you invest in the month of June, the first interest you are getting is in the month of September. The second interest you are getting in the month of December. The third interest you are getting is the month of March, and the next interest you are getting is the month of June. So they are paying you 4 times every year, and it is split 3 months. So let's say it's 18%. They are going to split that 18% into 4 times, and they are going to pay you every quarter. So it's an amazing thing if you invest in the savings bond. Now, let's talk about the similarities between these two investments. Now, these two investments are low risk investments. When it comes to low risk investments, you are rest assured that you are not going to lose your capital. So once you invest in these two type of investments, you are just going to sleep and start getting interest. It's not like the stock market that is highly volatile and you can lose your money. No, in this market you are not losing any money. It's just a low risk investment. You are just getting your interest as you have seen it in the dashboard before you get started investing. Now, the second similarity is that it is backed by the federal government of Nigeria. So it's also a reason why it's a low risk investment. An investment backed by the federal government of Nigeria means you cannot lose your money. Now, for the Treasury Bill, once you invest in Treasury Bill, let's say you invest using AfriInvestor 2.0, your interest is paid to your brokerage account, and you can then withdraw it to your bank account. But once you invest in the FGN Savings Bond, your money just paid to your bank account directly. So you provide them with your bank details, and they'll send the money directly to your bank account. So you just be getting the money to your bank account, not to your brokerage account. Now, if you want to get started investing with these two investments, you can just get started using an app. That's AfriInvestor 2.0. All you have to do is to create an account in the application and sign up, do all your KYC, like submitting all your information. And once you've gotten your CHN number and your CSCS number, you can get started investing in Treasury Bill. Like I earlier mentioned, it is open from the hours of 11 o'clock to 2 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday, not Saturday and Sunday, and not on public holidays. So Monday to Friday, you can invest in Treasury Bill. And also in the savings bond, is the first Monday to the first Friday of the month. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of every month. That's the first week of the month. That's when you can invest. So after you've created your brokerage account, you can then wait for your savings bond opportunity. Once it's open, you can invest. But for a treasury bill, you can invest anytime. Now, the next thing I need you to understand about this investment is that as much as they're amazing, there's one disadvantage I don't really like about them, is that their interest is fixed. Now, since their interest is fixed, it does not really mind if inflation is high. That's the amount they are going to pay you. If they say they are paying you 18% for the FGN Savings Bond for 3 years tenure, even if inflation is very high on the third year, they are still going to pay that 18%, and it's not really great. So I think if they want to improve on that, they should increase the interest rates to a great extent. Let's say the first year they are paying you 18%, the second year they are paying you 20%, and the third year they are paying you 22%. But it means that inflation can also be low. So for them to be on the safer side, they have to put a statutory interest rate. That's the same thing with the treasury bill. If you're investing in treasury bill, even if you say it's the 280 days treasury bill, once you have seen the interest, you are not going to get a new interest. That's the interest you are getting at the end of your tenure. Now, in treasury bill, you can reinvest your interest, or you can still withdraw your interest on day one. When I say invest in treasury bill, I usually reinvest my interest. Now, let's talk about withholding tax. Since it's the federal government of Nigeria, they used to get some withholding tax when you want to withdraw, but withholding tax is only available to your treasury bill. It's not available on your savings bond. When you invest in savings bond, you get your money to your bank account. So these are the two investments you can get started with investing, and you can make money from the government, because the government are the people paying you. The government are borrowing money from you, and once you offer them that money, they use your money to do some other things and to get more profits, and they pay you some profits and pay your capital at the end of your duration. You can get started with this investment, and if you want any information, you can drop it in the comment section, and I'll reply all your comments on how you can get started and some things you need to know. Don't forget to like this video, because it will help other persons see these opportunities and how they can get started investing. Also, if you think content like this amazes you, do want to smash that subscribe button as I keep bringing you ways to go about making some cash online. Till next one, peace.